Kate Hudson and Goldie Hawn completely stole the spotlight at the 2026 Oscars, turning what was already the biggest night in Hollywood into an unforgettable red carpet moment that had fans, photographers, fashion critics, and social media buzzing long before the ceremony even began. The 98th Academy Awards took place on March 15, 2026, at the iconic Dolby Theatre in Hollywood, a place where some of the most historic moments in cinema unfold every year. But on this particular night, before a single award had even been announced, one of the most memorable highlights had already happened, and it involved one of Hollywood's most beloved mother-daughter duos. When Kate Hudson stepped onto the Oscars red carpet this year, it wasn't just another glamorous celebrity appearance, it was a career milestone. Hudson, now 46 years old, arrived as a Best Actress nominee, marking her long-awaited return to the Oscars spotlight more than 2 decades after her first nomination. Many longtime movie fans remember that moment vividly. Back in 2001, Hudson received an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actress for her breakout role as Penny Lane in the cult classic Almost Famous. That performance turned her into an overnight sensation and established her as one of the most charismatic actresses of her generation. Now, 25 years later, Hudson was back at the Academy Awards in a completely different chapter of her life. She had built an impressive career in romantic comedies, dramas, and independent films, launched successful business ventures, and even explored music and television projects. But this nomination felt like something special. It represented not only recognition for her talent, but also a moment of reflection on how far she had come since those early days in Hollywood. And when she stepped onto the red carpet that night, she made sure the moment was shared with someone who had been there for her since the very beginning. Standing proudly beside her was her mother, the legendary Goldie Hawn. The moment the two arrived together, the entire atmosphere of the red carpet shifted. Photographers began shouting their names from every direction. Camera flashes lit up the carpet in rapid bursts. Reporters scrambled to capture the moment. And within minutes, clips and photos of the pair began circulating across social media, instantly becoming one of the most talked about moments of the evening. Because this wasn't just about celebrity glamour, this was about Hollywood legacy. Kate Hudson arrived wearing a breathtaking emerald green couture gown that immediately became one of the standout fashion moments of the entire Oscars night. The dress featured a structured corset bodice that highlighted her silhouette, with delicate crystal embellishments that shimmered beautifully under the red carpet lights. The gown flowed elegantly down to the floor, combining classic Hollywood glamour with modern high-fashion sophistication. Every detail of the look had been carefully crafted. The neckline framed her shoulders perfectly, and the subtle sparkle across the fabric created the illusion of movement every time she stepped forward. Fashion experts later described the dress as one of the boldest yet most elegant looks of the night. But the real showstopper was the jewelry. Hudson wore an extraordinary set of rare green diamonds that sparkled brilliantly under the lights. The necklace alone featured multiple dazzling stones that caught the attention of every camera in the room. Matching earrings and bracelet completed the look, creating a dazzling combination that elevated her entire appearance into something unforgettable. Her hair was styled in smooth, old Hollywood waves, swept gracefully to one side, giving her a timeless movie star look that felt like a tribute to Hollywood's golden era. Her makeup was glamorous yet understated, with glowing skin, soft, smoky eyes, and a neutral lip color that allowed the dress and diamonds to take center stage. But as stunning as Kate Hudson looked that evening, she wasn't the only one turning heads. Goldie Hawn proved once again why she remains one of the most beloved figures in Hollywood history. At 80 years old, Hawn walked onto the red carpet with the same warmth, charm, and magnetic presence that made her a superstar decades ago. She wore a sleek black gown with shimmering silver accents that reflected the red carpet lights beautifully. The dress hugged her silhouette while maintaining a sense of classic elegance that perfectly suited her iconic status. She paired the gown with elegant gloves, adding a vintage Hollywood touch that immediately stood out among the modern red carpet styles surrounding her. Her signature blonde hair was styled in soft waves, framing her face and complementing her radiant smile. And that smile quickly became one of the most photographed expressions of the entire evening. As the two posed together, it was impossible not to notice the energy between them. They laughed together, whispered to each other between photos, and occasionally held hands while moving down the carpet. It wasn't stiff or overly rehearsed the way some celebrity red carpet appearances can feel. It felt genuine, and fans watching from around the world immediately connected with that authenticity. Within minutes of their arrival, social media began filling with reactions from viewers who were captivated by the mother-daughter moment. Fans described them as Hollywood royalty, while others called them the true stars of the red carpet. Some viewers even joked that Kate Hudson and Goldie Hawn had already won the Oscars before the ceremony had even started. What made the moment especially powerful for longtime film fans was the history behind it. Goldie Hawn herself is an Academy Award winner. Back in 1970, she won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress for her role in the film Cactus Flower. That win launched a legendary career that would span more than 50 decades and include some of Hollywood's most beloved comedies and dramas. Throughout the 1970s and 80s, Hawn became one of the most recognizable and adored actresses in the world. Her infectious laugh, comedic timing, and charismatic screen presence made her a favorite among audiences everywhere. She starred in iconic films like Private Benjamin, Overboard, and The First Wives Club, each one strengthening her reputation as both a comedic powerhouse and a beloved Hollywood personality. Her ability to combine humor with emotional sincerity made her performances unforgettable. And now, more than 50 years after her own Oscar victory, she was walking the same red carpet again, this time supporting her daughter. For many viewers, that simple image carried deep emotional weight. It represented the passing of Hollywood legacy from one generation to the next. Kate Hudson had grown up surrounded by the entertainment industry. Her childhood included visits to film sets, award ceremonies, and Hollywood events that most people only see on television. But despite being raised in that world, she still had to prove herself as an actress. Her breakthrough role in Almost Famous showed audiences that she had something special. The character of Penny Lane, charismatic, mysterious, and emotionally layered, became one of the most memorable roles of the early 2000s. From there, Hudson built a career that included blockbuster hits like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, Bride Wars, and The Skeleton Key, along with dramatic roles that showcased her versatility. She proved she could balance humor, vulnerability, and emotional depth in a way that few actresses could. But like many actors, her career experienced different phases over the years. There were blockbuster hits, quieter, independent films, television appearances, and even entrepreneurial ventures outside of acting. She launched successful business brands, became a wellness advocate, and built a lifestyle empire that expanded her influence far beyond Hollywood. Yet through all those ventures, acting remained at the heart of her identity. And this Oscar nomination represented a powerful return to the kind of dramatic role that allowed her to truly shine. Inside the Dolby Theatre, cameras occasionally returned to the pair seated together during the ceremony. Each time Kate Hudson appeared on screen, viewers could see Goldie Hawn cheering proudly beside her. At one point during the broadcast, the two shared a warm embrace that instantly became one of the most widely shared clips of the night. The moment was simple but powerful. Goldie Hawn leaned over and hugged her daughter tightly, smiling as the audience applauded. It was the kind of moment that reminded viewers why the Oscars can still feel magical after nearly a century of ceremonies. Because beyond the glamour, the awards, and the competition, the Oscars can also be about something deeply human: family, support, and shared dreams. Kate Hudson earned her nomination for her role in the musical drama Song Sung Blue, a film inspired by the real-life story of a couple who performed together in a Neil Diamond tribute band. In the film, Hudson plays Claire Sardina, a passionate singer navigating personal struggles while pursuing her love of music. The character faces setbacks, heartbreak, and uncertainty, but continues chasing her dreams through the power of music. The role required emotional vulnerability as well as musical performance, allowing Hudson to showcase a side of her talent that audiences had rarely seen before. She performed several songs in the film, bringing raw emotion and authenticity to each scene. Critics praised the performance for its sincerity and emotional depth. Many described it as the most mature and powerful acting work of her career. Throughout award season, the performance continued to gain momentum, eventually leading to her Best Actress nomination at the Oscars. For Hudson, the journey to that moment had taken decades, and having her mother by her side made it even more meaningful. The bond between Kate Hudson and Goldie Hawn has always been visible to fans. Over the years, the two have spoken openly about their close relationship, their shared sense of humor, and the support they give each other, both personally and professionally. They often describe each other not just as family, but as best friends. In interviews, Hudson has frequently credited her mother for teaching her about confidence, resilience, and staying grounded despite fame. Hawn, in turn, has always expressed enormous pride in her daughter's accomplishments. Their family also includes Kurt Russell, who has been Goldie Hawn's longtime partner and a beloved actor in his own right. Together, they have created one of Hollywood's most admired families. Despite decades in the spotlight, they have managed to maintain a sense of authenticity that fans deeply appreciate. And that sense of family unity was clearly visible throughout the Oscars night. As the ceremony progressed and awards were announced, the excitement in the room continued to build. Each category brought new surprises, emotional speeches, and unforgettable reactions from the audience. But even among all those memorable moments, the image of Kate Hudson and Goldie Hawn walking the red carpet together remained one of the defining highlights of the evening. It was a moment that reminded audiences why Hollywood storytelling continues to matter. Because behind every movie, every performance, and every award, there are real people with real stories. And sometimes the most powerful story isn't the one being told on the screen, but the one unfolding right in front of the cameras. The 2026 Oscars will undoubtedly be remembered for their winners, their speeches, and their cinematic achievements. But for many viewers around the world, the heart of the night belonged to a mother and daughter sharing one unforgettable moment together on Hollywood's biggest stage. A legendary actress proudly supporting her child, a talented performer celebrating a career milestone, and a family bond that shined just as brightly as the diamonds on the red carpet. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.